morning, all. Good morning, class. Hello, this is our first class for today, so I hope you will enjoy this journey together with me. Okay, before we start our class, I want to know who is not here today. Benito Dira? Okay, so there will be only two of you, Uma and Nico. That's totally fine. Before we start our class today, let's us pray together. Nico, please do the honor to lead the prayer, okay? Thank you.
So I will lead the prayer with universal way. Pray begin. Enough.
Thank you, Nico. So, anyway, how are you guys? Nico, you seems fine, but Uma looks very tired. What were you doing?
Yes, sir. I have watched Korean drama until 5 a.m.
Well, that's totally fine if you want to watch Korean drama, but you need to watch your time management, okay? Because that was really unhealthy to watch drama until 5 a.m. Okay, anyway, our topic today is about asking and giving advice, prohibition, and obligation. But before that, let us watch a video first.
There may come a point in one's relationship where you
So, the title for this video is about 7 tips to help you to strengthen your relationship. So, this will be very interesting for you guys.
hit a bump in the road. To maintain a strong chemistry with one another, here are 7 tips on how to have a strong relationship. Physical contact. Intimacy plays an important role in a relationship. Putting your guard down and becoming more vulnerable with each other by either holding hands, hugging, or cuddling shows the other person that you have a great interest with them. Open communication. Communication is key in a relationship. You want to be comfortable with your partner and be able to share your thoughts on any type of subject. You also want to have a mutual agreement that you are able to handle any situations that come your way and be able to talk them out. Becoming a friend with the person you are interested before dating them can be a bonus, because then you know that they can be your best friend and you can be comfortable around them. You have the same sense of humor. It's important to laugh together, especially when times are tough, that you're able to break the tension somehow. When you both laugh together at the same thing, it creates a bond between one another, and you're able to accept each other for who you are. Emotional bonding. Having an emotional bond between one another is a good way to build a connection and be able to trust and care for each other. When you ask your partner how their day is, or if they are feeling okay that day, it lets the other person know that you care and are taking an interest in what they have to say, which brings you closer together. Making up after arguments. It's important to make amends after an argument, no matter how small or big. Being stubborn and fighting with one another is what causes you to become distant, which could lead to a breakup. Talking to your partner about the fight and how you two can resolve it is a great communication forum and will only bring the two of you closer than ever. Do not take your partner for granted. Letting your partner know how special they are and how much they mean to you can keep the relationship strong. Being there for them is a great way to show that you care. If a person is constantly letting their partner pay for everything and pushing away what they have to say, it's a sign that they're taking that person for granted. Do you see a future with your partner? Maintaining the relationship and faith in one another, even in hard situations, is a big deal. Are you able to always count on your partner? Planning your future together can be a joyous occasion in which the two of you will forever share the bond that you have. If the two of you really care about one another and see a future, do not let them go. A relationship can be difficult at times.
So, that's it, the video. anyone can mention some points that were on this video? Just some points. Nico, please.
Physical contact, open communication, humor, emotional bonding, making up after argument, do not take your partner for granted, and discuss your future together.
Wow, you can mention all of them. That's great, Nico. You really pay attention to the video. So, what about you, Uma? What do you think? What do you find interesting about this kind of video?
I'm interested on how to avoid cheating.
Oh yeah, you want to find out about how to avoid cheating, but unfortunately the video is not about that. So you might you might be not too interested with this video. Anyway, let's us jump to our main topic today. So what, Nico, you want to say something?
Sir, I have a question. If you have a chance to talk to your past self, what will you tell yourself?
Well, that's a really good question, Nico. I think if I want to talk to my younger self, I will give him advice about, well, maybe don't be lazy, don't waste too much time on something that is not important and something like that. In general, just want to uh, be a better person in the future. So what about you, Nico? If I ask you the question, the same thing, what would you give your younger self advice? What advice will you give to your younger self?
So, if I have a chance to talk to my young self, I just want to remind him to not often playing game because it can bother my stability in study, like right now.
Well, that's definitely good advice. So anyway, let's we see our today's topic: asking and giving advice, prohibition and obligation. So this is some expression that commonly used for asking advice. You can say, "What do you think should I do? What should I do? What do you suggest? What do you advise me to do? If you were me, what would you do? What ought I do? Do you think that I should do this?" The next is giving advice. This is some expression that you can use. You should do more exercise. You should do your exercise. You should leave her. You ought to do more exercise. If I were you, I wouldn't eat that. I would be careful if I were you. And also, giving advice can be in a interrogative form. Actually, so you can say, "How about going to the cinema this weekend?" And then the second example is, "How about leaving him someday?" So this is the most common expression model that we use is should and ought to if you want to give advice or asking advice. The next one is prohibition. So this is some example. You can say, "Don't touch me. Don't step in the grass. Don't go away. Don't leave me. Don't be lazy. No smoking." Well, usually we use don't, but sometimes you don't need to use do not in prohibition, like the last example here, it says no smoking. And then to turn your prohibition into polite prohibition, you can just simply put please in your sentence. So let's say the example here is please don't go or don't disturb please. And then the last is obligation. Asking whether you or other have an obligation to do or not, you can say, if you want to ask whether you or others have an obligation to do or not, you can say, do I have to do it now? Then do I need to leave her a message? Then must I accept the request? I don't have to attend the meeting, do I? Must you work so hard? Is it necessary for me to go with them? And any other expression. This is the example. If you want to expressing obligation, I must tell them the truth. I must do everything I can to help you. I have to send the report today. I have to be there by tomorrow. I have to go now. It is my responsibility to clear the table and etc. So my question is, what is the difference between prohibition and obligation? Nico, can you answer it?
I think it's still hard for me to differentiate about prohibition and obligation.
What about you, Uma? You don't know as well. So obligation is something that is necessary to do, something like requirement. So it is necessary if you do this. Usually you use must and have to when you are expressing obligation. And about prohibition is something that it is not okay to do. It is against the law if you do this. For example, is this on the right side is prohibition, while on the left side, on my left side, is obligation. After you learn this, do you have any question? No? So, I want to ask you guys, do you have any rules that are related to prohibition and obligation in your house? What about you, Uma?
I have rules in my house that relate to prohibition, like don't eat on the bed because the bed will got dirt. And for obligation, I have all the family members must wash their dishes.
Yes, that is good because your family is really care about hygiene. What about you, Nico?
I think I have, sir. So usually my family always obligate us to pray before we go to somewhere.
Oh, so your family seems religious, and you as well, right? Okay, anyway, for the main activity for today, we are going to listen to watch 3 videos, and I want you to take note the important parts, okay?
What's one piece of advice that you would have given your 16-year-old self?
This video is about advice, just almost similar like what Nico asked me. It is about what piece of advice would this man give to his 16 years old self. Okay, let's listen to his story.
What's one piece of advice that you learned in adulthood that you wish you could translate to someone coming through adolescence to adulthood? Don't be so high and mighty that you don't take advantage of the humble opportunities that are granted to you. When I look back, I didn't like school at all. You might say I hated it. And I've thought a lot about that, because I thought, well, there were reasons. I was a very fast reader. I could get through the books that were given to us in English class generally in the first day. And that wasn't really appreciated, I would say. But there were things, and I was bored a lot as a teenager and got into a reasonable amount of trouble, not an unreasonable amount, but then, there were sports teams and there were attempts to organize plays, and there were things that I didn't do that I could have, that would have made my life better, but I was too cynical, maybe, to take full advantage of them. And, I did work when I was a kid. I worked in restaurants as a dishwasher, shorter cook, that sort of thing. That was a really good decision. I think my fondest memories in some ways of my adolescence are memories of working in the restaurant. But don't, life is very difficult, and in order to thrive with this difficult life, if an opportunity is presented to you, you shouldn't be so arrogant that you dismiss it. And it's really easy to be arrogant as a teenager, especially if you're smart, because you think, well, I'm smarter than everybody else. It's like, actually, no. There's lots of people that are a lot smarter than you. You just haven't met them yet. And you're not as smart as you think you are, besides. And other people aren't as dumb as you think they are either.
There's different kinds of smart.
There certainly is. Yes, and wise beats smart. So I would say if you're 16 and your life isn't so happy, it's like, look around and see if there are opportunities that people are granting you, even imperfect opportunities, because they're going to be imperfect, that you could exploit, let's say, in the proper way, and learn and grow. I had this teacher, Ada Paul. She's dead now. I really liked her in grade 4. She was an organist at the church. And when I was 14, 15, she offered to teach me how to play the organ. And it was a big organ, and I, for a variety of reasons, wasn't really that into the idea. And so I kind of went, and then a couple of times I skipped it, and it just sort of fell apart, and which was pretty rude of me, obviously, because she went out of her way to offer this. And, that's a good example, because, it wasn't cool to play the organ. It wasn't cool to do I don't know what it was like when you grew up. When I grew up, it wasn't cool to do anything.
Yeah, it's so like that out there.
Yeah. So, doing anything wasn't cool.
Right.
It's like, well, it wouldn't have been so bad to learn to play the organ.
Yeah.
And
also to learn from some.
Well, let's stop the video here. We will watch the second video.
In April 2017, I spent 3 days in the capital of North.
This video is about prohibition. Three things that you cannot do in North Korea.
Korea called Pyongyang. As far as I know, I'm one of the last Americans to step foot in North Korea. Because shortly after I left, Americans were banned from going there, which is still in effect today. It's the only country that we're banned to visit. Before flying into Pyongyang, everyone must attend a mandatory briefing in Beijing or Shanghai, where your tour company will go over all the do's and don'ts, mostly don'ts, that you need to be aware of on the ground. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that you simply cannot do in North Korea, or else you will face severe consequences. And Kim Jong-un, you cannot disrespect the past or current leaders, as it's a criminal act and will lead you to prison or worse. This means Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and Kim mention their names, even if it's positive, because the leaders are viewed as gods and it's an extremely sensitive topic, especially if you're a foreigner. Every tourist is required to bow when visiting the Kim Il-sung statue, and if you take a photo of the leader, his face must be in full frame and not cut off. And don't bend the rules because they will check your camera. Number 2, you cannot take photos of any governmental buildings, police, or construction. Government stuff and police are self-explanatory, but they say no construction photos because North Koreans always want their country to be presented in the most perfect way, and construction shows that something is not complete. Taking videos are allowed too, as long as you follow these restrictions. Can I take pictures? Number 3, you cannot leave the tour group at
So let's stop the video here because the time is almost up. I don't know if we can play the last video about obligation, but I think we will take a look at the video.
I think you already know that if you want to improve your English speaking harder, some of your spoken structure is required. This technique can help improve, and most importantly, so what is this technique? Well, here's what it is.
So let's just take a look
Learning
at
to
this
speak
video.
English through imitation. When I say imitation, I'm not.
This is about how to improve your English.
What is this technique? Well, here's what it is. Learning to speak English through imitation. When I say imitation, I'm not talking about repeating after native speakers using the exact same words to improve your pronunciation. I'm talking about something a little more advanced than that. Here's how it works. You listen to a conversation, a story, or some kind of speech, and then try to deliver that speech in your own words. Let's see this technique in action. When I was a child,
Let's just skip the video.
my parents liked to
Skip the
pretend
video.
to there be such thought or that into too hard imitate speech. Then pause emphasis. You can imitate larger portions of speech. So in this case, you wait until the speaker completes a thought or an idea, then pause and try to express that idea yourself. Another approach is to simply listen to the whole speech and then try to deliver that entire speech yourself. So there are several ways to go about it, but what I recommend is to combine them all together. And I call this approach easy to hard imitation. Easy to hard imitation is based on the concept of progressive training. The idea is that you start with something easy and then increase the difficulty of the activity, forcing yourself to get better. A number of studies have found this kind of training to be very effective.
So let's stop the video here and let's discuss about it. Nico, what do you think about Uma, what do you think about the first video? What is the important points that you got?
Number 1. Don't be so high and mighty that you refuse an opportunity that were granted to me.
Okay, that's good. Anything else? No? What about you, Nico? Do you find anything else besides what Uma found?
Don't think that you are smarter than anybody else, and don't think that people around you are dumber than you think.
Okay, yeah, that's good. You don't be arrogant and don't miss the opportunity that you got just because you're too proud of yourself, right? About the second video, the prohibition. Anyone want to answer? Okay, Nico again. What is it, Nico? The three things that you cannot do in North Korea.
So from the video, I think we cannot disrespect past or current leader, then cannot take photo of governmental buildings, police or construction, and cannot leave tour group at any time.
Okay, that's all correct. Yeah, the leader of the North Korea is seen as a god in there, and also you cannot take a picture of the construction there because it will be seen as imperfection, and they want their country to be seen as a perfect country, right? Okay. For the last video, what do you think about it? I don't want Nico to answer, but Uma, please answer it.
On the video 3, number 1, imitation. How does it works? Listen to speech and try to deliver the story in our own words by listening to the idea or one sentence. Then deliver it into our way or listen to the whole speech. Then we try to deliver what was the speaker talking about. Number 2, easy to hard imitation. Progressive training from small portion to large portion, and finally try to deliver the speech on our own.
Okay, that's also correct, Uma. So that concludes our class for today. We learn about asking and giving advice, prohibition, and asking and giving obligation. I hope you will learn something from this. You will get something from this that you can apply to real life. And thank you for the two of you, and see you in the next week. Bye bye.